Wind and Wuthering is the 8th, I believe. It is the 8th overall studio album by progressive rock band Genesis. This is a bit shorter than the Trick of the Tail album, which was 51 minutes, and this one is 50 minutes and 54 seconds, so it's a little bit shorter, but not a lot. This has the same lineup as the last, Tony Banks, Phil Collins, Mike Rutherford, and someone else. And Steve Hackett, who is the guitarist of the band. So that's the lineup. We have overall 9 songs. Yeah, we have 9 songs. And all of them are under the 10-minute mark, which is, it stays for a consistent song, or for the album. The song that is almost 10 minutes long is, sorry for that, One for the Fine, which is 9 minutes and 59 seconds. So we start off, this is of course requested by Rockdoo. We start off with the song 11th Earl of Mar. This is a really electric song. This is mostly electric guitars with really all over the place mellotrons. I really loved it about the song. It is maybe a bit too long. It's 7 minutes, so I don't know. Maybe a bit too long for an intro song, but the album gets progressively shorter and shorter, which is kind of odd, I think. But this is a good overall opening song. It's not the best that I've heard. Probably A Trick of the Tail opener is slightly better, I would say, but this is still a marvelous opening song. And it's one of the 2 songs that is written by, 3 of the 4 band members. There's only 1 song that is written by the entire band. And then we get One for the Fine, and this is probably the best song of the album. It's the longest song as well. It's written by Tony Banks, so the mellotron is pretty much dominating on this track. I just really love that Tony Banks doesn't think about himself all the time, but he did implement, some great parts for the other band members, some great percussions by Collins, and of course his vocals really blend well with the mellotron on this track. And I overall think that everything, the bass and just everything, the electric guitars come really great together on this song. This is definitely a song that you should not sleep on, because it is quite of a more rocking song. Most of the songs are really moody, but this one is a bit more upbeat. Then we get Your Own Special Way, which is written by Mike Rutherford. So yeah, his acoustic and his electric guitar is really dominating on this track, and you can really hear that with the signature Genesis sound. I just really love, the overall commercial wave that the song really brings to the table after arguably the most progressive song of this album, One for the Vine. This is overall a really consistent piece. It's a really great song as well. A lot of great songwriting by Mike Rutherford. I just really love, that the band writes, as a band, and they're all great songwriters. So you gotta love that. Wot Gorilla is 3 minutes and 12 seconds, and this is probably the most oldest song of the record. It's written by Phil Collins and Tony Banks. But I just mainly think that Phil Collins, was kind of, doing weird fucking shit around this stage, having a solo project. Not running, but he was planning on it. And Tony Banks, of course, with the silly mellotrons. This is also the shortest track, I'm gonna take that back. It isn't. But this song is just overall really weird. It's a bit transparent. It's probably it doesn't ruin the flow that the album has, but it kind of has a different style, which kind of makes it inconsistent. The length is a bit too short, I would say, maybe a longer length. The title is really strange, Wot Gorilla with a question mark behind it. This is probably a Phil Collins track, and it probably should have stayed that way, because I just really don't like the song. All in the Mouse's Night is written by Tony Banks again. I just think this is a great song overall again. A really sneaky song. It sounds, really dark, like, the cat's gonna sneak up on the mouse or something like that. Really great metaphor for that. With the title, 6 minutes and 35 seconds is this song. It's overall a really moody song. It's more mellow in a way. Wot Gorilla is more avant-garde, I would say. Not exactly, but it's really weird, I think. But In a Mouse Night brings back the more conventional beats and the more conventional riffs to the band back. Side 2 Opus is great, but I think if maybe they had a more commercial song, to start off side 2, people could get more into it. The album would be more consistent, I would say, but it's still an overall great song. And this is the last song that is 6 minutes long. We progressively get shorter and shorter in length, which is really strange, I think. Then we get Blood on the Rooftops, written by Steve Hackett and Phil Collins. Yeah, the song is overall, like I said, really catchy. So this song probably should have been, the first song to start off side 2, but it isn't. It is a more yeah, it is one of those songs that is catchy, is really upbeat, it's happy sounding, but it's actually kind of depressing to if you go to the lyrics and see the title "Blood on the Rooftops." But it sounds actually quite happy in a way. It sounds more upbeat in a way. One of the more upbeat songs on the record, which is really strange, and hence the title and hence the lyrics. But this song is still really creepy and a great song at the same time. It's really misleading because it's one of those songs that sounds happy but is actually depressing. I think because of the title and Collins has written it, so that kind of makes it inconsistent again, but also makes it great because it's gonna confuse people, which I love. Or yeah, stuff like that when people misinterpreted the meaning and actually play it at a wedding or something like that, and it's actually depressing as fuck. But yeah, the songs. Then we get Unquiet Slumbers for the sleepers, which is a really it's more of a transition. It is 2 minutes and 27 seconds, so this is the shortest song of the record. Yeah, this is just mostly ambient noise. It is just mostly things that Genesis were trying out, and they actually just throw it on the record. Yeah, it is on the record, but I personally think, yeah, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just kind of filler, I think. So yeah, it's not the best song. 2 minutes, you can't really get anywhere with that length, I think. But some songs try have a great, you have a great song with 2 minutes in length, but not a lot. Then we have In That Quiet Earth, and this is a really moody song. This is written by the entire band, Hackett, Rutherford, Banks and Collins. This is a really consistent piece once again, and I think personally that this is one of my favorite songs because it is mostly dominated by Mellotron while having the great guitar. The bass by Mike Rutherford, I think. I think Mike plays the bass. Yeah, Mike Rutherford plays the bass. Just great overall, great diversity to this track. The title is really peace, or peace. It's really moody. It's really peaceful. I think In That Quiet Earth, which makes me really calm. To hear that. So this is an overall really great release. It is one of the more moodier, one of the more calmer songs, but it still managed to have that pop and progressive sensibility to the track. Then we get Afterglow, and this is probably a really weird song. It's written by Tony Banks, so it's mostly just really ambient noise. Like Unquiet Slumbers and For the Sleepers, but then actually a bit longer. So I overall think that this song is. It still has that atmosphere to it. It still is pretty good, but I think it closes out the record kind of strange because it sounds so weird, and you end the song or you end the album with a weird ass song. Yeah, it's one of the songs that is more difficult to get into, but once you get into it, you probably love it the most. I still love the song, but it's quite difficult to get into. So there we are. Or it's just it is just one of those tracks that is just kind of more difficult to appreciate. But I do appreciate it. But yeah, you just need more repeated listens to really give an opinion about Afterglow. It's still an overall good song, but it's just kind of a really weird way to close the album. So overall, this album still has a fantastic fringe line between pop and progressive rock. Although I think I have to be honest with you, this album is a bit too deep buried in the mix with the ambient and the mellotron, and just having a bit of a similarity problem going on here, because it's just mostly, you know, really ambient and really calm music, which I still really love. But I personally love a bit of diversity, which this album it did show, but it's, yeah, it could have shown more. So I'm still gonna give this record like an 8.7. I still really enjoyed it. I still think it is a great record, but yeah, just some songs were just a bit too moody, or just a bit too repetitive. Like you know, Wot Gorilla and Unquiet Slumbers for the Sleepers are just kind of filler songs, which you know are too short and just kind of, you know, are unfitting on the album, I think. But there we are. But besides that, I loved everything. I think everything is great besides those two songs, which I still think are decent. So let me know your opinion about this record, Wind and Wuthering, which is still a great Genesis release, but it's not my favorite, so there we are. Hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about this record, Wind and Wuthering. I personally really liked it, but I think a trick of the tail is better, but there we are. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Hope you've enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel on us for more videos like this one. Request something that you want to see in a future episode to, you know, me to review. So there we are. Hope you've enjoyed it. Have a nice day. God bless. Stay safe. Take care. And peace.